Hey guys, James here today, and welcome to another episode of Let's Create a World. We are here, obviously, at the graveyard. I don't know why I did that harsh, dark green grass at the beginning. I don't know. I guess I kind of felt it was graveyardy. So I had to stick with the sort of base game crypt. That's the word I was looking for, which is that fully gothic stone structure there. It's not ideal for an island, but it's the base game one, so I kind of had to use it. I guess I could have used a rabbit hole door, but I decided not to. Yeah, so this episode we spent a bit of time doing the graveyard. We get it done, I'm pretty sure. And then we move on to a couple of other rabbit holes being placed. Oh yeah, my terrain paints were glitching out here. I clicked on a terrain paint and it did the same texture on heaps of different ones, which is very, very confusing, and I was getting angry. That's why I keep painting, because I'm like, what is going on with my terrain paints? It's so confusing. But anyways, yeah, so we do a couple of other rabbit holes after this, and we do lots of trees as well. That was a question I got. Are there going to be any trees in this world? Yes, of course there's going to be trees. It wouldn't be much of an island without trees. I guess it could be an island without trees. It's not that far-fetched, to be honest, but there is trees. So don't worry. Don't you fret your little head. So a couple of the other questions I got was am I going to do Sims in this world? So like pre-populate it with Sims. For the initial release in a week's time, or actually less than a week's time, no. The initial world that I release will just be the world with like fully landscaped terrain painted, so it has all the roads, has all the pathways, has all the trees, has all the rabbit hole lots. And that's it. All the other lots are blank. There's no other community lots, no other houses built. So that's the initial release. That's kind of the blank world that you can just load up yourself and do whatever the hell you want with. And then I'll try and sort of elaborate, on my plan and the sort of roadmap for this world. The idea was that I think there was a bit of misunderstanding when I said community builds. I don't mean community in the sense of community lots. I just mean community in the sense of you guys. Because I think some people thought I meant like community lots. So yeah, anyways, what I meant was that you guys would submit lots. So it could be houses, parks, shops, anything really, any type of lot. You'd submit it to the website, and then it'd be sort of like a directory of houses you could download for certain lots. So you'd go to my website, you'd say, I want to get, I don't know, a house. You'd search up houses, and then it'd be a list of houses. It would say what lot they're built for, and that kind of stuff. That's basically the general idea of how it's going to go. Again, I have to iron out the specifics when the time comes, but that is a general sort of idea I had for it, and that's what I wanted to go for. So that was just clearing that up. Now, as for Sims in the world, probably at the full release, when it's filled with lots, I'll probably make some Sims myself, to be honest. But I guess we can also get you guys to help out making Sims. I'm not sure. Again, to be ironed out, to be continued. But and then the other question I got was another popular one was, am I going to be building houses for this world? Of course I am. I will be building houses for this world as well. There will be regular sort of house building videos. But they'll be sort of designed and inspired by this world. So that's kind of designed to fit a certain lot in the world. Yeah. So, and the other point that I feel I should actually, by the way, I'll just talk about the world while we're here. We're doing the criminal hideout lot at the moment, which I appear to have stopped working. Oh, there we go. The criminal hideout actually goes on the side of this mountain here. It's an interesting idea, but I feel it could use some refinement before I actually release the world. Like I said, there's a few things I want to refine before I do that release in a couple of days' time. But of course I will do that, and then I'll release afterwards. So it won't make any difference to you, but there are a few things I do want to work on and polish up before then. Anyways, so in terms of, I've totally lost what I was saying. Something about building lots. Yeah, no, it's like I said, there'll be regular house building videos from me with houses designed for the world. And what I was going to say was that the world itself is going to be base game. So when you download the initial world released in a couple of days' time, that will be base game. And then houses I build for it won't necessarily be base game. They may be if I decide to make them base game, but I may decide to use expansion pack content or store content for the lots. Yeah, so then basically how it works out is that you could download the world, and you could play it in any game configuration and do whatever lots you want in it. And then you could download my lots if you wanted, etc., etc. And it would all sort of be like putting it together. And then down the road, I will compile the world like completely finished with lots everywhere, community lots, houses, everything you could possibly want in a world to just pick it up and play it. Now, whether that entails completely my own lots, I'm not sure. I'll probably do something like use some of the top rated community built lots. So the top rated lots built by you guys, maybe I'll put in the world, because there are tons of lots in this world. There are a lot. I can't remember the exact number, but like I've said before, probably over about 60 lots at least. So building that many lots, to the level of detail that I like to build my lots would take a long time, because keep in mind, I've got about 36 house builds on this channel. And that's over the course of, about a year and a bit. Probably a bit more than that, probably a year and a half or something. And that's only 36. And this world has like 60 more plus. And that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to be completely building this world. And the thing is, if I do, I don't want to compromise on the quality of my builds. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, this is a world lot, so I can just be a bit lazy with it and do it, I don't know, do it the quick way and furnish it less or build less. I don't want to compromise what I build for this world. So that's why I thought involving you guys in building lots for the world would be the perfect idea, because it means it sort of would hopefully you guys will produce some really awesome lots that can be shared and that everybody can enjoy, rather than waiting for me to build 60 lots and release the world. Anyways, that's kind of like the whole rationale I had behind that idea. But anyways, let me talk about the actual video now, and let's stop sort of going off on a tangent. So yes, this is the criminal hideout. Again, it uses one of those rabbit hole doors. The idea was this would sort of be like a lair built into the side of a mountain. And again, I'm not entirely satisfied with the way it turned out. Probably going to use some polishing up here and there. But for now, you can get the kind of general idea of how it's going to go down. So yeah, it's kind of like a hidden away in the side of the mountain. Someone else said in the comments of the last video was that I could have put it on the island where the science building is. Well, it's not an island anymore, but the area where the science building is. But then, I mean, I could have, but it wouldn't have been hidden. I don't know. I kind of liked it where it is. I thought it was a cool idea. It's also a very big lot, so you could actually, if you wanted, actually just remove the criminal hideout from that lot and build an awesome cliff house or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm adding in some more lots here and there. I wanted to maximize the lot placement, although I believe I do change all these, because there's a fairly large change coming to the town center soon. Within the next couple of episodes, probably. Well, it has to be. There's only 3 others after this that I've pre-recorded. And those 3 after this are the ones that see the completion of the world, which is pretty cool. It actually was a pretty decently quick turnaround. I mean, this is going at 4 times speed, I think I've mentioned before. So, it took a decent amount of time, but not too long. But yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on these lots, but it's just kind of annoying that now that I know in hindsight they're going to change. And also, a thing to keep in mind that up until I released the world, I've pre-recorded all these episodes, so I've actually already finished the world. So suggesting certain changes now isn't the best time. The best time to suggest changes that you have for the world is when I release the world. I'll make a video saying, like, I've released the world, go here to download it. This is how you download it. This is how you install it. I'll do a full sort of like proper like installation instructions, because it does require the rabbit hole doors. I'll tell you how to use those as well, just so there's no sort of misunderstanding or anyone misses out and it all works fine. But yeah, when that happens, when I do release it, that is the time to sort of give feedback and suggestions, because right now you can't say, oh, change this, because I've already done it. Like this is a few weeks ago now that I did this. So it's not the ideal time to say, oh, you should have done this instead. But yeah, so when I release the world, give your feedback then. That will be the perfect time. Because I will also want you to test it all out. I saw a few people saying, I want to be a tester. Well, everyone can be a tester because I'm going to release it in a few days. So yeah, just tell me when you start playing it if there's any major issues. I mean, I had a few weird little bits and bobs here and there that I tried my best to fix up. But of course, I will need feedback and suggestions here and there, which would be perfect. Just going around and detailing all of the sort of like cliff edges now with more rock textures instead of just the one standard texture, because having one texture just is so boring and doesn't look that good. I also go back over all the rock textures near the end because they seem to have way too much grass in them and it doesn't seem to make much sense. And a similar sort of thing with the beaches. They seem to have a lot of grass in the sand right by the water, which doesn't really make sense. Like, I mean, like, you can see under the water there, you can see a lot of grass texture under the water. I mean, of course, this is all still being worked on, but I do go back later on and sort of detail it a bit more. The area I'm painting around now is actually where the 64 by 64 lot goes. So there's a nice big lot there, which means you can get any lot you want in this world, all the way up to the maximum size. It has small lots and has big lots. This is the only 64 by 64 lot, which keep that in mind. But the world has one, so there you go. Because it's not a very big world, like I've said before, and as you can see. So I was just happy that I could actually get a 64 lot in there. We're going around doing trees. I made sure that I was only using base game trees. You'll see me pull out a few sort of expansion trees, but then I double check by loading up my actual game. Because the thing is, in Creator World, it doesn't tell you if the like what the items you're using come from, like what expansion or anything like that. So it's kind of annoying. I mean, some things will say EP10 or EP7, but a lot of things don't. So you got to be careful with what you use when creating a world. So I go around doing a bunch of trees. It is a very lush island because the idea is it's a tropical island with a crap ton of trees. So it's very green, especially on the mountain. I absolutely smashed that mountain with trees. I do also change a few of these trees later on because things happen and I have to change it. No spoilers. Actually, one of the things that I'm not spoiling for you yet is you may have noticed I have not mentioned the name of the world, but that will all be revealed later on once I release it. Look forward to that day. It should only be, after today, it will be in 4 days, because this is part 5, then we have part 6, 7, and 8. And then after part 8 is when I'll release it. And then based upon feedback, we'll go back and do part 9, 10, 11, etc., and we'll keep working on it. But of course, the frequency of the episodes will die down due to the fact that I'm not doing one a day of Let's Create a World after that point. But yes, anyways. Yeah, I accidentally placed a ton of these trees in the water, which I thought looked really, really stupid, so I had to go back. I don't know, for some reason I didn't notice it when I was actually placing them. That I had placed a whole ton of them in the water, which was really annoying. So yeah, I went back and made sure that wasn't like that. Here we are, working on the actual mountain. Absolutely just hammer it in trees. It has so many trees on it. It's crazy. It has a lot of trees. But I think it looks awesome in the end, because I looked up a picture of a tropical island and it was just trees. There was nothing else. Nothing else. You couldn't even see land. It was just trees. So that's kind of what I wanted to replicate on this sort of mountaintop, just having a complete covering of trees. It had those sort of small fan palms that you can see all there at the moment. And there's a few ferns around the place, not many. And then I do a lot of oak trees on the island as well, because I think they looked all right. They fit quite nicely, and they did a very nice covering of a nice canopy cover, I guess. Doing a lot of those. I think are they buckhorns or boxwood? No, they're the buckthorn, I think. I don't know. I can't read the text in the little filter menu. You probably could have read it. But yeah, so we do a bunch of these trees. I sort of adjust them here and there. And we also put a lot of palm trees in them as we go and make it look awesome. So again, if you have any questions this episode, if you want me to clarify anything I've said, I do try and answer the questions, because there's a ton of comments. The support on this series has been great so far, so thank you. Thank you for sending in all the comments. It's been awesome. And keep your questions coming. I would love to answer them. I will do my best. I think I answered the sort of most asked questions of the last episode, and I try to clarify the whole sort of community involvement aspect of it as well. But we are just about to wrap up on this episode. I know it's sad, but we've got to wrap up at some point. So yes, thank you for watching this episode of Let's Create a World. Make sure to leave your comments, questions, and everything in the description below. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. and thanks for watching.